Hello, are we live? I think we are. Just waiting for the circle to stop moving. We'll see in a minute. Okay, there we go. So we're back again, 4 nights in a row. I'll just wait for a few of you to jump on. But the last 3 nights, just to recap, we've been talking about how to set goals for your business, think about the purpose of it, what you want to achieve. Second night, we were looking at, just say hello if you just jumped on, let me know who's on, who's there. And of course, any questions. I was just recapping the week so far. It's hard to believe us. We've actually covered 4 nights now, but there's been loads of great questions. Lots of, I've been answering a few messages today, been doing a few consultations as well, which was great. But we were looking on Monday night at the goal setting aspect, what you want to achieve online. Tuesday night, we looked at your niche analysis. We have our high-tech chart here. We were looking at the market research, finding out if there's a market before you actually go live, before you launch anything, never mind, going to the expense of a website. But as I was saying, you don't need a website to earn any money online. There's ways around that depending on what you want to sell. We've also got, then last night we covered branding, what message do you want to put out there to your customers to attract them? What message are you putting out there, but what way depending on what you're selling. So that's what it comes down to. Do you need to go to a lot of hassle of building a logo and an image and things like that, or can you just get started? And 9 times out of 10, you can just get started and build a brand as you go. We also looked at ways of building your website or web pages. So if you wanted to bring people to one page, a landing page as such to capture their details, which we're going to look at more tonight in terms of building a list. The goal in any online business, and I suppose in any business offline as well, is the customer database. If you don't have that, then there's no value in the business as such. The database is where it's at. And I'm always looking at a business in terms of selling it on, because we've done that in the past. So if you want to build a business to sell it on, then obviously then you have to get a lot of things in the foundation right from the start. So, hi, Claire. Nice to see you. I was going to say, is nobody going to say hello? No. How are you getting on with Instagram and Twitter? Let us know if you have any updates. And any questions. You might as well get in early while you can before the rest of them do. I've seen from the stats, actually, a lot of people are watching the replays of this, so I suppose, and it seems to be quite late at night, so I don't know if that's a time zone thing, but I've just noticed the demographics that are going on. But I suppose this time in the evening, it's family time as well. Okay, so yeah, but we're looking at your email list and building that up. And then if you want to get a bit more technical with it, we can, in terms of, having prospects separate from, your generating leads from your website. We didn't really get into that this week, but there has been questions about that. So yes, carrying on then, I'm missing out some of the more, the maintenance and support. Sorry about the technicality of this. It's just the only way I can show it, because I can't screen share. Maintenance and support, we can't really, that's going to glaze a lot of eyes over. Search engine marketing is very technical. Email marketing is the next one, but this is still very much alive in terms of using social media. But we're looking at social media tomorrow in terms of online PR, publicity, using social media, and then obviously capturing leads that way. But I thought we could look at email marketing. So the first one then is one of the cheapest and fastest ways is through good old Facebook. And we're probably a member of a Facebook group of some sort, whether it's your own group or whether it's something of personal interest to you. If you're interested in anything to do with the home, with the gardening, with hobbies, things like that. I think maybe about a third, maybe a quarter of my Facebook contact, my Facebook friends are through people that I've never actually met them, but we've made comments in certain groups and things, and then liked them, and then actually became friends out of that. So, and a lot of people have just met along the way through various aspects of life, I suppose. So it can build up quite quickly. The face groups are, and if you're the one managing the group, it can be a bit of a part-time admin job. But if you're making it work for you and you're giving value to the group, then you can drive them to well, either you can, I was talking to a girl earlier who wanted to do some online courses. So we were looking at ways she could do that. So I've said to her about setting up a Facebook group to bring people to her course or to make people more aware of her course as and when it was relevant. Obviously, you don't want to like bombard people with sales pitches because that'll just turn them off and they'll leave the group, and people can remove themselves from groups. And it's always nice to ask people as well, and send a message. It is worthwhile sending a message, a personalized message to them, even if you just put their name in it, hi Claire, and then the message, and just copy and paste the message. But you can personalize and say, like, I'm setting up this group. If it's something that you're interested in, click through, here's the link. It can be a private group. You can make groups that they're not found unless you've actually got the link for them, or you can have groups that are private, but you can find them just through searching certain keywords. And again, that's why Tuesday night was important in terms of knowing your keywords, because that'll apply to Facebook as well. So if you're finding that certain keywords are very popular, then some of those searches will be counted from from Facebook as well. The search engines are using, they're harnessing the social media platforms and prioritizing them because they know they're high traffic sites. So they'll always get preference over individual's website in that sense, or a private website. So yes, through posts and using the Facebook groups, you can do that. You can also if you want to find people that you want to be in their group, there is software called Ninja Outreach, and I haven't had a chance to look at this properly. But I only heard about it in the last month or so. But it actually is very good for finding influencers. So these people on YouTube, on Instagram, depending where your market is, not everybody's market will be Instagram. This girl I was talking to earlier, she said she tried Instagram continuously and it just wasn't working. But yet Facebook and LinkedIn was proven to be very effective because it was the corporate market. And she was just saying, I just can't warm to Instagram. And it's not for everybody. It is very media driven. It's very celebrity driven as well. And there's a lot of posters on there, such a lot of millennials. It just totally depends. There's just different platforms for different things. That's why it's always good to know your market and who you're actually trying to target. But Ninja Outreach will help you find people, and you can follow them, even if it's for your own motivation or inspiration, if they're doing something in the same arena that you are. Obviously, then YouTube is a great way. We talked about that last night, of getting people to, it's getting people into your radar as such and into your funnel and finding out who you are. And if they like your videos and your message and your information, your content is relevant to them, then you do that through the hashtags. And again, that's the keywords. You need to put the hashtag with the keyword. And then people always send like and subscribe. You always see that in the YouTube video. Believe it or not, even though it's annoying to hear, it's so effective. That's why so many people do it, because it's almost like people like to be told what to do. If they like your video, you can never say the wrong thing to the right customer or to the right person. So if somebody is one of your, in the right customer profile for you, you're never going to say the wrong thing to them. You're always going to get people to say, well, I was offended, or this wasn't relevant. But even if people are commenting negatively, believe it or not, that it can actually be a positive thing for you because they're still engaging. So if you have videos on YouTube or Facebook and people start commenting on it, don't ignore the trolls. Actually use them to your advantage, because the more you interact with them, and if you just keep it polite. Now James Blunt on Twitter, he was renowned for, people were just trolling him, and I don't think, going by his attitude, I don't think he was ever on there to be like, this music. He just wanted to produce music that people liked, and if he didn't like it, fair enough. He wasn't hung up on it in that sense. But people were trolling him, and his attitude is, well, do you know what, if you don't like me? But then he got to a stage where he started to be funny with it, and people obviously then wanted the attention from him, wanted to create a bit of humor. So he started having this banter. If you read some of the tweets he puts, he's very, very funny. J.K. Rowling is another one, Harry Potter author. These people are wordsmiths. They know how to create a good comeback, or they come back with some great lines. And there she is, Esther has come on. She's doing the Ask Fridays Thursday night feed. Our clapping here has stopped, I think, because everybody's back at work and things. We were doing it every night, being hardcore. You couldn't find Lad Baby on YouTube. Oh, that's it strange, because that's one of the main places. Try Lad Baby. Did you use it all as one word? It should actually be on there. Let me just double check. Lad Baby. I might as well look at these things when you're on here. Yeah, Lad Baby McDonald's, Lad Baby. Yeah, and there's a subscribe there. I don't know if you can see it. That's definitely on there, lad baby, all one word. 904,000 subscribers. So they've been putting in the work. No, it is on there. I was wondering because, yeah, I love Sausage Rolls. That was their one of their songs they produced. But it's just a family, as they said to you, but it's a very family orientated channel. So it's very good, the mum and the dad pranking each other. See if you can find it, Claire, just while you're on here. Lad Baby would be more, whereas, family orientated, whereas, and what's the other one, Lad Bible is more sort of professional male, single male, that sort of thing. It's a bit more laddish in that sense. We need to get something equivalent for the ladies, don't we? Like lad girl doesn't really sound right, sure, doesn't it? Lad woman. Hopefully you can find that. So how are you getting on, Esther? Are you still thinking about your home decoration, or have you NHS camp? Who would have thought, like back months ago, that we would all been sitting inside and looking forward to going outside to clap the all the key workers and things like that. Not that they totally deserve it. In Spain, it's interesting how here they clap everybody that has to work. It's not just the health workers. Is that a dating site? No, it's like a content channel basically. It's like a family, and the dad plays pranks on the mum, and the mum plays pranks on the dad. They actually got each other's cars. They put, like, the mum took the dad's car and got her face and says happy wife, happy life, and she put hearts on it and totally non-macho, and then he took her car and put his face on it. And of course she went mental. It's coming up with nursery rhymes, right? Let me see if I can get the URL here for you. I love sausage rolls. I can't jump out of the screen here. Where is the share button? It says join. There should be somewhere to let me it's all one word, Claire. It should be, yeah, all one word. Yeah, that's maybe what you're doing wrong then. Yeah. And a capital B for baby, lad, baby. But it's easy to spot because they're all like this in it, and all like, they're on different poses on their thumbnails. He puts a permanent marker on her eyebrows and things like that. He's always so Esther is asking, what is better, a blog or a vlog? It depends again on your market. He says you can't ask these questions if you don't know who's. That's why there's so many tools. The whole internet marketing, internet business aspect. It's all about building up a toolkit for the right market. So you've got all these options, and I suppose that's what I've got to know over the last 19 years. It sounds like a long time. I suppose it is. But different tools have come and gone, but it always depends on the actual market. So if you were, let's say you're going with your home decoration idea and being the helper to the experts, then you could probably get away with both. Now, if you're willing to put yourself on a video, that's the thing as well. You have to be confident to do that. Now, you can produce videos with just a PowerPoint and have your voiceover. And believe it or not, that's actually more effective because people will be more, they'll be concentrating more on the content of the video screen. Plus, they can take snapshots. If you've got a list of 5 steps and, or 5 ways of doing this, people can screenshot that with watching on their phone or watching, if they're watching a video, they can rewind back and do it that way. A blog depends again on the market. If you need to describe things, or you can do a wee bit of both. Sometimes you just, in some cases, if you're not too sure, do both and see which one gets the bigger uptake. I suppose YouTube and Vimeo and those type of sites have all become popular because we're all lazy. We would rather watch them, and then you can put captions. So if you're standing in a, sitting at the bus stop or sitting in a train station or on the train, and you don't have your earphones, you can still watch a video by reading the subtitles, and it's more engaging. I suppose, and a lot more millennials. I was reading stats the other day, and it said that more millennials will watch YouTube, like binge watch it, to all hours of the morning. This is even before the lockdown. Than watch actual TV. They're not interested, in soaps and things. So, you've got that to think about if that's your market. Sorry, my hair. I finally got a hair appointment today. I just happened to catch the hairdressers open. I'm getting my hair chopped off on Saturday, and I can't wait because it just feels like I've got a mop on me. I'm surprised it's not dripping wet. It's just so warm here. So YouTube again for catching people, and it's just short educational videos to catch them, and if they like it, and say for more of this, or to keep in touch. Oh, sorry, there's some comments. Okay, you found Lad Baby. I've seen it before, but it's not very party, Professor. But that's the point, Claire. It's the same market, um, but it's not a competition. It's not in competition to you. So you'll probably get a certain percentage. Would be interested if that's something you can work with. I'm not too sure how that would actually need the thinking hats for that. Esther's saying graphics and images. Okay, what are you laughing about? Graphics and images. I'm not too sure what you mean by graphics and images. But yeah, are you a wee blondie? Not yet. Definitely not yet, but I am naturally. Okay, so other way of doing some market research as well as talking to people and interacting them and showing off your expertise is to go into because there's Google groups. I forgot to mention the other night as well, there's Google Trends. So if you're doing a bit of market research and you're wondering what's kind of going on in the overall market, you can go to Google Trends. That's something I've only come across in the last few months. But you've also got Google groups, and you've got different chat forums out there. These were all popular back in the day, but they're fantastic for going in and finding people that are specifically in your market. So for example, with Claire, anybody that's interested with children and science, there's bound to be groups there. There's probably Facebook groups for that. I wouldn't doubt it for a minute. And forums and things like that, especially now at the moment, because a lot of parents are homeschooling and they're probably getting asked loads of questions by their kids. And it's like, God, I didn't cover this at school, or I can't remember. I don't know anything about this subject. So I'm sure if you went in there and started posting questions, or if you were set up your username, Party Professor, with a little bit of a subtitle saying, online, science, for kids, or something that's relevant. Yeah, that would draw people's attention. Then you become the expert straight away just by the name. Esther's saying, how frequently should you post a blog? Again, it can depend on the market, but anything more than 2-3 times a week is just pure annoying. Once a week, starting off, it's too little. You need to kind of, but that's why I've just kind of done like a like a fast track this week. I've just gone all in. I was wondering would I make it past Wednesday. I actually had a feeling maybe I'll not go past Wednesday. But it doesn't matter if there's only 4 people on this or 40. It doesn't matter. It's still content as such. And I can reuse the videos. I can take the videos and put them onto YouTube, which I've been doing, and I can slice them up and things like that. But as long as people like yourselves are getting, some sort of use to it, that's the main thing. And I can tell by the questions, there's a lot of cogs going here as well. So yeah, and on the blog, 2 to 3 times a week max. You want to do a little bit more at the start. As long as it's engaging people, if you're getting responses to it, then you're doing it right, and you're getting people asking questions. It's not always a bad thing if you don't get questions, because sometimes it just means you've covered everything and there's no questions because you've answered all the questions. But then that should be generating leads for you, to bring people in that way. I'm going to look at press releases and online publicity and PR. How you can contact more even the UK media, like the Sun and things like that. I was watching a few webinars, must have been last year, and just by frequently being like a Huffington Post is very popular online and always looking for different angles. And if you can come up with something with a good angle that's interesting, and it's not just a pure sales pitch, the Huffington Post will let you be a regular editor. There's other sites as well, like Reddit and what's the other one begin with B? There's Reddit and hang on, I think I have the app on my phone. It's hard to remember. Oh, BuzzFeed, that's it, begin with B. BuzzFeed. So yeah, the forums, Facebook groups, Claire, just type in the subject. So if you want to know more about children and science, type those words in, or whatever it is that your keywords be. That's why you need to know the keywords. Okay, the keywords are the foundation for everything. Don't do anything until you've got keywords, and build your list up to about 100, 150, and just keep revising them every month. It sounds horrendous task, but actually becomes quite easy. And the amount of times you can use these keywords, for your blogs, for your video tags, and things like that, become a keyword master or mistress in this case. Forums, yes, again, it must be by topic. As I say, in BuzzFeed and Reddit, and but type in forums for children in science, or for educational for the curriculum, things like that. Whatever your words are, obviously I don't know your industry. So type it into that. Esther saying would like it to be compelling and informative like me. Well, see, that's it. That's what I'm saying. You need to look at the keywords and see what's your niche and where can you fit in. Where can you fit these things in, to make them perform. What is your niche, and then how you going to bring your recipe to it. To make it interesting. I have no doubt you can do it, Esther. I would really love you to see you start doing it. We should have a wee chat. I was going to say a serious chat, but no, we'll just have a chat. There's no point even trying to be serious. I mean, it's a very serious subject, so you have to have fun with it. So let's see now. We've got so the other thing as well to get email addresses, and I touched on this during the week, is having a lead magnet is the actual technical term for it, which means you have something for free. So you find out with your target market, you find out what problems are they having. You find that through the forums, through people asking questions, what solutions, what problems people are having and what solutions are out there. And if you can see something that's not being provided, and that's usually how many businesses have started. They've gone searching for a product or service, can't find it, and think, there must be other people that need this, and then they start their business. And then obviously then a whole lot of people will come into it as well. Me too. Yes. Me too. That's a whole different subject there. There's a hashtag in that, isn't there? Hashtag me too. So that's how they've got started in business, because they've seen a gap, they've seen an opportunity, and then they started to capitalize on it. So that's one of the ways around it, and building it up that way. But then something that leads to that problem. So you're saying, how to it's like those ladies who made the Daily Mail or the Sun paper, whatever it is, and they were doing their kitchen, they were giving the whole kitchen a transformation, but they were only doing simple things like painting the cupboard doors and changing the flooring. One lady did a whole lovely mosaic or design up and down her stairs, on the flat bit of the vertical bit of the staircase, and it transformed the stairs. I think she couldn't afford to get a carpeted or something. She was a single mom or something like that. And then people were saying to what other tips do you have? And it's just something, they always say in business, we don't have any budget, get creative. And sometimes that creativity can be priceless. You couldn't maybe have bought something at that price. But yeah, so think about how you can lead people. So if you're talking to people in forums and say, well, where would I get more information on that? So if you go to my website or go to my landing page, whatever it is, give them the link. They download it and you've got their email address. I was giving an example the other night of my meditation, my Wellbeing Genie site, where I give out free meditation, relaxation meditation. Hello, Mr. Munch. Oh, it's so nice to see you. And you've got your sunglasses on. Victoria E. Hope you are well. Hope you're staying safe. Esther saying, and have a look on Facebook about other blogging. Yeah, that's fantastic. See, now you're on the train. You're full steam ahead. Yeah, see who's out there doing what in terms of home decoration or garden, the garden aspects. See if you can spot something, a gap there as well. And look at the keywords I was telling you about last night, and how you can bring people into your kingdom as such. Then if you build, a lot of people won't build websites. You don't need to build a website. You can set up a Facebook page and personalize the web link. So facebook.com, Esther's tips, or Esther's home decorate, something like that, or ask Esther. There's a lot of people have to ask Esther aspect. There's a few people have jumped on more. If you want to say hello and you're just passing by, feel free to say hello. So good to see you, Munch. You've never ever told me why he was called Munch. We've always asked him that question. But let's see. So you can personalize that, and that becomes your personalized link, and you can bring people to that. It's a little bit more difficult then to get people to get their email address, but at least they can, if they're interacting on the page, you can see who they are, and then you can private message them with any offers or anything that any solutions that they're saying, well, I'm looking for something on this. Then you can go about that. You can go about helping them in that way. So it's just finding a central hub as such, and then bringing people to it. And if people find it useful and informative, as Esther is saying, then they'll keep coming back, as long as they have a problem. And if it's something that it's a one-off problem, then that's fair enough. We were talking to Jim was on the other night, and he's a wedding photographer. So most times he's going to just be doing that one job in terms of doing the wedding photo. So either he expands into doing a bit more of the engagement photos, or maybe goes into the christening aspect. or finds other ways to bring more business to himself that way. What's the best way to speak to my readers? Straightforward. I don't know, Esther, because I find humor always works. There's, as long as it's done in a certain way, tastefully. There's a lady, she runs a gardening centre in Northern Ireland, and I can't think of the name. Some begin with C. Now she was putting funny things up at the start of the lockdown, and I don't know if we were just touching on the same stuff because she was getting some of the same stuff as me, and I was getting some of the stuff as her. But when I looked at her profile to see who she was, I thought this lady obviously has a sense of humor, and that's what drew me towards her. And then I realized she was a garden centre, and she was advertising all these different flowers, and they would deliver these hanging baskets out and things like that. So she recognised the niche that people, couldn't get to B&Q or Homebase or any of these sites, and she was willing to help people who wanted to work in their garden, because they were stuck in the house all day. So, but she's quite funny as well. And I always think humor works. It's more memorable, if you've got a funny name or play on puns or words, people are going to remember that before any other name. I was talking about that the other night. Wasn't it the different Indian and Chinese names you get? Chinese restaurants. So, yeah, I always think humor works. You can even do serious subjects and throw a bit of humor in now and again, or have like a theme site and then just stick to the theme. But then that can run dry quite quickly. Once you run out of jokes. It just depends. Again, it just depends on what way you want to put across. But Esther, you've definitely got the personality and the humor for it, so why not? That's at the end of the day, that's what people want to laugh, and especially more at this time. People just want just some heart lighter relief and to know that there's hope at the end of it all. Yeah, I totally would suit you to a T. And people play on that. That you could have Esther's cup of coffee time, and you're talking. You're doing this in terms of you're taking people's questions. You don't have to be doing a Facebook Live. You could just be there and answering the questions, or say, open it up, or have a frequently asked question list and things like that. It's the sky's the limit here, but it's not even, it's beyond that. The only limit is your imagination and your creativity. So that is that. If any more questions there, keep asking. What about you, Munch? Are you interested in this side of things? Or if you left? There's a few people, if more people have popped on as well, if you want to say hello, feel free. Now you're asking then, well, I would preempt that you're asking the question, okay, I've got all these email addresses, Vicky, what are we going to do with them? Good question. I'm glad you asked it. Now you probably have seen all these people who run challenges. There's a lot of apps and there's a lot of Facebook groups, a 30-day challenge, like a 30-day ab challenge, a 30-day eating vegan challenge, whatever it is, 30-day gardening challenge, 30-day press up challenge. Don't mention press ups. So that's another way of getting people, like-minded people to, to a page, or on a list. So if you want, so you're saying you want this challenge, and if you want the challenge rules and guidelines, I will, never run out of jokes, no. Yeah, that's all we can say. Well, see, Esther, that's actually how Claire and I met. We met through comedy, and we met through a comedy writers group in Belfast. That's actually how I know Claire. So little did we know we'd be on here talking about blogs and manifesting and things like that. What can you do? What can you do? Or what do you call a broken pencil? Pointless. God, you see, that's a Lawrence joke, isn't it? That's a total Lawrence joke there. So, oh, don't start me. I'll be doing a pun run instead of this. But again, you see, if you're sending out your emails, you gather all these email addresses in, and then you're sending out funny messages to people. You're still giving them the content. You're still giving them the information that they need. But if you're doing it in a humorous way, or you're doing it in a way that people, because humor automatically, people automatically assume you're approachable, you're friendly. Goes with that. Believe it or not. I mean, you might find that hard to believe. Yeah, so think about a challenge. You could have a gardening or a home decoration challenge. Somebody put something up last night. What was it? Something about pets. And I think it was this guy. Esther appreciated that, Claire. Yeah, he was saying, just feeling a bit down today, guys. Blah blah. Can you all post funny pictures of your pets to cheer me up? And my pet unfortunately had to be put down last year, so I was just like, right, I'm not doing that. And I used to live a couple of streets away from this guy, so I know him. I know him through comedy, funny enough. And but I found a really big, heavy bear, a picture of a heavy bear, and it said, "Me after 6 months in quarantine after eating too many snacky snacks." And it's a huge, big black bear, and it's got little short legs and a big round body. They've obviously photoshopped it or something. And I says, "This is a picture of my cat." I says, "She's an emotional eater, but she likes to tell me that she's big boned." And I just stuck it up there to try and, because I hope that makes him laugh. And but other people jumped on and they started, putting the laughing emoji with it. And I thought, well, that's good then, But it was just the parent that he just wanted cheered up, and everybody, people did post their dog and cat pictures doing funny things. But yeah, even if you don't have a picture, you can still get around it in some way. If I had a blog, can I bring in guests? Yes, you absolutely can. You can be a guest blogger. You can, who was it the other night? Belinda was talking about her podcast, but she hadn't thought of bringing people to interview with her podcast. She's only really got started. She's only got a few episodes out. But yes, Esther, I think I said to you, I'll give you some inside information, that there might be a Ricky and Vicky podcast starting soon. I'll just leave that with you. We thought ourselves right. We have to get it out there. You put a joke with every email and worksheet. Yeah. Well, you see the whole science thing, the whole science area, there's so many puns. It can lend itself to so many puns there. What's that joke about? I walked into the chemist today and somebody threw hydrochloride in my face. I didn't know what way to react, or something like that. It's something, I think I've ruined that one. Anyway, we're talking about challenges. I think I'm joke challenged this evening. It's not really in my stream of thought at the moment. I'm trying to think myself right. Content. So yes, you can also now, if you want to be very cheeky, is offer up your challenge to the local press, the local media. We'll talk more about that tomorrow night, okay? But I'm just planting a seed now, because I know some of you ladies are. It's lovely the way you're actually thinking about this. You're logging in, and especially with Esther, the cogs are going. You might as well, put your mind to something creative and positive. Oh yes, the email tools. Claire, I don't know. I don't know if you said you had an email list. But if you're wanting to manage your emails, there's a good way of doing that through some software. Depending on what your needs are, you need to check that out. Or something I can. I'm a bit of a nerd in that if you tell me what your needs are, I can instantly say to you, oh yeah, you need to use MailChimp. MailChimp's probably the most flexible one at the moment because it gives you up to, oh yes, my life is complete. I totally, who knew that after a week of internet business, Facebook Live sessions, and look, you've already got a handful of people for your blog already. We like, keep me posted with Esther, and Claire's the same. But it'd be lovely if some of you did have some ideas. I mean, some of the people who are not on tonight. Sarah said to send her apologies. She's actually teaching tonight. But she's got ideas for her website, and she just says, I don't have anything, I don't know anything about it. If I tell you what I want and the results of it, and it's going to help me earn a bit more money, you do it for me. And that's fine. I'm happy to do that. Other people just want a roadmap. Just tell me what to do and I'll suss it out. I think, Claire, you fit into that because you've got believe it or not, I feel you have the internet savvy to do it. So if you just know which direction you go, you'll just take the steps and do it. So that's probably would be better for you. With Esther, I think there's a wee bit more education needed there in terms of where do you actually go with your niche? How do we test it out? And maybe a little bit of hand holding at the start. But I know you're a switched on woman, so you'll probably just, once you get the wheel turning and the system working, you'll fly with it. And you'll probably be educating me, dare I say. I think Munch has gone off, or maybe he's just watching. There's a few other people there. If you want to say hello, just say hello. Don't be shy. There's no harm saying hello. It's nice to know who's about. So yes, MailChimp would be one of the most popular emails. I think you can get a free trial, or you can use it free up to either 500 or 1,000. I'm getting mixed up now with webinar software. Webinars as well, Claire, that did jump into my mind last night, actually, after the Facebook Live last night, I thought to myself, I wonder would webinars work well for Claire? You know, where you're actually then, your webinar presentation is pitching at the adults of the kids that you're wanting to work with. So you're building one, you've got 136 people. That's good. That's a good start, yeah. They always say that you need an average of 1,000, and 20% of your database will always make 80% of your income, you know, the 80-20 rule. So yes, I've heard that one. 2 radios got married. The reception was great. Boom, boom. This is turning into a joke challenge. Come on, Esther, it's your turn. No, don't encourage her, please. Please don't encourage her, Claire. Want to keep her focused. Okay. 2 elephants fell off a cliff. Boom, boom. Yeah. Okay. So yes, MailChimp is very good. And you can automate things in that as well, in terms of you can have a funnel set up. Somebody puts in their email address. You can actually do a MailChimp plugin to a WordPress website. There's a plugin for that. And somebody will come onto your website. You know, so for example, if you go to my website, type in your name and email address, hit send, you'll get an email back saying, thank you, blah, blah, blah. Here's the link to your meditation. And there's a YouTube, a private link. Excuse me, a private link on YouTube. You can't access it publicly, you need that link. But it also means then if I decide, right, the request for the relaxation meditation has slowed down, I'm going to do a different one. Then I just change the link in the autoresponder. It's called an autoresponder. When you send something, an email to an email address, and it sends an auto response back. Here's another joke. What did the paperclip say to the magnet? I find you very attractive. God. The jokes don't kill me, the coughing will. Oh. Your ears are not for viewing. You don't have enough of a following yet for a webinar. Well, it doesn't stop you putting one together. And you've got enough people there, believe it or not, over 100 people, you still got enough people to test it with. And if they respond well to it, and maybe generate some repeat business, you know, so think about that point, you know, 136 is a great start. And it's 136 people more than what Esther has at the moment. You know, you look at it that way. But, you know, it's early days. So no, never say never in that sense. Try it out. As I've said to you last night, internet marketing, any type of marketing like that is always by test and tweak. So test things out with people and do surveys as often as you can as well. And again, if you have an email address, and if they fill in the survey, you know, you probably get those yourself, you know, fill this in and you'll get a free whatever, or you'll get a voucher or a coupon or whatever, you know, because basically it would cost them money to get that research otherwise. So they might as well give you something and pay for the expense of it, or, you know, give you a free whatever as part of that cost, you know, and that goes down as a cost for their marketing cost for them, marketing expense. Okay, then. So yes, so think about your lead magnet. We're talking about magnets, Claire. Lead magnet, something free, whether it's an audio clip, which you can record on your phone, whether it's a video clip, or whether it's maybe 4 or 5 pages in an ebook. Doesn't have to be huge. But something like that to start building up your list. And tell like an senorita I am. I'm just trying to give you a wee gentle nudge. That was just a wee inspirational nudge there for you. So Claire is saying, at the minute, MailChimp gets me 1 or 2 clicks that generate bookings, but it's always the same people. So you've got your raving fans, as they're called at the moment. They seem to like the reminder to book. So yes, well, it's the same as your dentist or the vets or doctors and things. You know, they'll keep contacting you. As always, we would never go if you don't get the reminders. And usually we're booking it through guilt, because we know we need to do it for our own health or for our animals' health. But it's just not something we wake up in the morning and think of straight away. You know, it's just not that type of thing. And they've recognized that and built their system to do that for you. Excuse me. My goodness. It's not Corona, don't worry. I think it's all the laughing. I get to the stage where I laugh so much and then I start coughing. So I don't know if that's I don't know, something with my lungs. I think it's a wee bit dry as well from all the talking. I've done a lot of talking today. I was on and off the phone quite a bit today. So does that make sense? I've tried to keep that as simple as possible in terms of The software is something that you'll have to get to know yourself, or you, again, Fiverr.com that I mentioned that last night, or any sort of freelance site like that, you can get people who will manage it for you, you know. But you're better to get to know it yourself because it's something very simple once you get to know it. If I could get one on my blog page, I'd be a very happy woman. Well, there you go. But here's the mindset aspect. You don't need one person on the blog page to be happy. You can be happy without that blog page. But the blog will help you start earning some money online. Now, I always do some mindset questions. So let me get you the questions for tonight. If you've got pen and paper ready. We are here. We're looking at, let's see if I got this right here. Release. Okay. Yes. So email marketing. When we're looking at the support and maintenance of your site, we are looking at how we build a team, whether you outsource some of the aspects, some of the technical aspects, or you learn them and then pass them on, you know, so you can get family involved or friends involved. With email as well, there's an aspect of teamwork needed in terms of who do you need to put, you know, who do you need in your team to, if you ask yourself that, ideally, you know, don't think about worry about budgets at the moment. You know, if we were doing this 2 steps in between here in terms of search engines and support and maintenance of the site, would you do that yourself? So maybe you could be the team. And a lot of people who did have like a big company with loads of people working on the background, there's posting more jokes. Loads of people working in the background, but some people have had let them go because they can't do it, and then they've brought everything back, and they're now doing their own phone calls and things like that to streamline the business so that they basically ensure survival, because their thinking is, if I keep the business going in a tough time, then I can jump back on and bring people on board once I'm back up and going again. So Cleopatra says to her attendant, I'd love to take a bath. Attendant, pasteurized. Oh yeah, because of the milk. And Cleopatra says, no, just up to my neck. Okay. I've only for 20 minutes left, please. Making me cough. Yeah, so think about the team, okay? Claire's done a good party hat on tonight. The professor part has disappeared for now. He's taking a break. So think about the team aspect of the site. You know, are you going to outsource things? Are you going to do it yourself? How are you going to actually do that? Do you need somebody to help you with the marketing? Do you need to, you know, to help get somebody to help you maybe? Or as I said, you know, get a roadmap and then you can suss out the roadmap yourself. You know the different aspects that you need to take. The next one then is terms of what at this stage you see on a mental aspect, you're still going to be holding on to old beliefs, limiting beliefs, and old stuff from the past. So what do you need to release? Because when you're releasing, you probably know yourselves. I'm still trying to find my niche, a few ideas. Your niche is finding you, Esther. I think it's safe to say your niche is finding you bit by bit. But it's good because we were probably had no idea about all of this stuff on Monday. You know, say you'd have maybe some idea, but now you've got enough information to make a more informed decision about your niche. But we can chat about that. You know, just let me know if you want to chat. We'll have a wee Zoom conversation or Skype or Facebook Messenger. Yeah, so what do you need to release? So things are going to come up, and even now, who was I? I was talking to somebody. It's been quite a few years ago, but it was like 3 weeks on since we'd had a conversation and hadn't come back. So I just thought I'd reach out to them and just say, you know, is everything all right? I haven't heard from you, so I assume it's okay, but I didn't want to make that assumption. They came back and says, oh no, I've sent my logo off and did it. I'm still waiting. And I was like, for the last 3 weeks. So there was 3 weeks that she'd wasted. Well, you know, the logo and stuff like that can be important, but it's not as important as getting started and getting going. And you've got it, mosquito repellent. When I was at the shop earlier and the girl tried to sell me mosquito repellent, made me think of you. Esther's ex is called him, we call him the mosquito. It's our in joke, isn't it? But yes, what do you need to release? What's still hanging around that's maybe holding you back? And if there's any fears, right? So basically, when we got talking about the logo, and I got talking with her, she was using the logo as an excuse. It was just a block or a barrier that she thought, well, if I if I hang on to this rock for a wee while, it means I don't have to go on down the river. I don't have to go into the unknown. And that's all it was. And it was amazing how quickly the logo got, sorted in the next couple of days and she was able to get going. So that's the saying, a lot of IT, internet coaches, things like that won't talk about mindset or get into that sort of fuzzy, warm stuff because it's just not there. They're all about the more practical aspect. But I think it's important for anybody, whether you're a business owner, offline or online. A business is basically like a catalyst for your personal development. Because that's where I really started to find out, peel away the layers and find out who I am. As a business owner, I couldn't have done that if I was still working 9 to 5 because I wouldn't have had the initiative to do that. I've had loads of questions, but I wouldn't have known where to go. And it was actually through coaching and getting a coaching qualification. Because when I was doing this back in the day, I wasn't a coach. I wasn't qualified. I didn't even really know about coaching other than football or sports coaching. That's probably where my limit was. But think about then, in terms of your mindset, where's the fears? It's half the time I look at it and I think to myself, where's the block here? When you're looking at something from a more practical point of view, there's no block. But when you talk to the person, and that's what I've become good at, is finding out what's going on with the person and their energy, and where they maybe sabotaging. Maybe there's a pattern. I've had a few of those happen over the years, where people have self-sabotaged and attracted all sorts of things in, and nearly destroyed the business and nearly went bankrupt over it. So we attract things for a reason. We have to be careful of that. And then when you release things, and then it clears the space to let new things come in. So are you open to receive? And again, we're getting a wee bit deep here. So, but it's just to make you thinking at this stage, because this is really something we talk about at the time, but this is something you can think about even at the start here, is that we did talk about at the very beginning about, what did you have to change? What did you have to lose or let go of, in order to bring this into your life? And this is the next layer, maybe the next layer down, the next 2 layers down. If you're releasing stuff, there's going to be that space, and the universe loves a vacuum, so it's going to try and fill it with something. But if you want to receive something positive, then we have to create a positive energy with it to bring it in. Humor, definitely, yes, that's going to fill up with a positive space. But you have to remember as well, when you get going, a lot of people are, and I suppose it was something I was afraid of for a while, are afraid of criticism. They're putting themselves out there like this. They're going, excuse me. I don't know what's going on in my throat tonight. I was putting some of the videos of this on YouTube just to try them out to see what sort of quality and all they would be. And the first night I had some guy, and according to his YouTube channel, it was run by his dad, that Logan was the child and his dad actually ran the channel. And this guy was making this clear that this is a child. But then some Jamie guy came on and started putting MILF and started going on about sexy MILFs or something. And I don't know if it was a website or what he was doing, but I kept deleting him and he kept coming back. And I'm like, here we go. Then I thought to myself, maybe I should interact with him and build up, because if you're interacting with the comments, I thought after a while, no, it's nothing relevant. There's anything funny with it, so we'll just leave it. So with the Logan guy, just sent a comment back and said, what age are you? Because I thought to myself, well, if we get interacting, it's the same with your Facebook post as well. If you interact with them, and even dislike them or respond to them anyway, Facebook picks up on that. Facebook's algorithms, there's a conversation, there's a thread of conversation going on here, and that's happening with every video and happening with every post that you're making. Then Facebook picks up on that. So it does no harm just to keep posting regularly, in relation, as long as you're providing value. And with Esther, if you're putting up funny stuff, it's relevant to it's like the moment I'm posting funny stuff about the lockdown and things like that. Not all of it's, but the one I put up last night about the airplane, wasn't it? That resonated with a lot of people, and then there was a lot of comments on it. I put up a riddle as well, and I probably got the most comments ever. I think it's like 160 comments. But that's good. I didn't do it for that reason. I got the answer right, and as part of getting the answer right, you had to put I had to put the post on my Facebook. So I just thought, you know what, I'll go with this. Oh my goodness. Last thing at night and first thing in the morning, I was messaging people. Esther said, did you marry him? No, I didn't, because he just said, this is your captain speaking. And yeah, I saw Sarah May's post. I haven't responded to that one yet. I've got an answer for her. But she was being cheeky. That was a wee joke with us, because I was keeping her going about getting married. So she's getting her own back. So, any last questions? We've got another 5 minutes or so. Tomorrow night, then, if you are back for more, we're looking at the social media and PR then, and and more questions. Obviously, if you've got more questions in and around, excuse me, definitely my throat's. I don't know. I mean, a new one. Let me just look here and see. Yeah, at the end of all your emails, always put a call to action or your posts. So click here for more, click here to subscribe to, so you're always telling people what to do. This is where, if you're, I don't think it's politically correct to say women are bossy anymore, isn't it? What was the answer? Still not got it. I know you haven't. And people are thinking like, people are making it complicated. That's what I love about it. It's a really good example of people are making it complicated, I'm not getting into that now. We can discuss that again. So let's see, where did I get to? Niche analysis. No, we've done that. I've got something here on building a list. Webinars and email lists. There's some people who that's all they do. They just promote products. Mightn't necessarily be their own products. Mightn't be. Sorry, this is sticking. It might be your product. It might be somebody else's product. But webinars, just doing the presentation and not even showing themselves in the presentation. People will pay more attention if you're not there, because they're just looking at the screen. Claire's saying, I got a query once for balloon modeling. For a porn film. Okay. Luckily, it wasn't an online query. It turned out there was no film. It was a guy with a fetish. He just wanted to talk. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. A balloon fetish. I will not ask. Maybe, should I ask? I don't know. It's amazing. See, when I used to advertise, I worked from a place in Belfast, and I was the only Reiki practitioner in this therapy centre. And we were allowed to advertise ourselves and the centre, obviously. And some of the queries I got through, lucky enough, I'm not qualified as a massage therapist. So I had to say, look, I'm sorry, I'm not qualified. I'm not allowed to do any sort of massage, never mind that, But it's amazing what people have problems with addictions with as well. There's one actually disturbed me for a couple of days because I really felt for the guys. I thought, how do I help him? But he wasn't trying to help himself, wasn't doing himself any favors. So basically I had to say to him, for you to come and do that and pay for a session to do that, it's like an alcoholic bringing a glass of whiskey to an AA meeting. He wanted to do his addiction under the umbrella of Reiki. I was like, nope. Lucky enough, working for the centre, so they say, you're going to get me sacked. And he's going to get himself slapped if he kept up that. So let me just go back here. I think I've covered all the main points I wanted to this evening in terms of just keeping it simple and making it manageable as well. Yeah, just the different ways then to capture emails. So tomorrow night then we'll look at where you can find online journalists. This or Twitter is really, because it's a wordsmith type of environment with the hashtags. There's a lot of pun runs go on. There's a lot of word games go on Twitter as well. So if you're more of a wordster than a math person or a numbers person, then definitely Twitter's that way minded. But you'll get a lot of PR media people on there as well, celebrities. That if you hashtag them, I think we discussed Lawrence how he did that with some of his writing, his comedy writing and stuff, and being in different shows as a side actor and an extra, isn't it? He puts up some things and he's got his face there as an extra, especially in Game of Thrones. What is going on with this throat? So yes, so just to recap then, he wanted to know what I wore while balloon modeling. Could I wear a turn skirt? Well, you see, it's the internet. All these things are more exposed now. People are going to try and put their stuff onto you, and if you want to do it, I suppose that's maybe how Babe Station got started. I don't know. That's a whole different conversation. But it's the voyeur, isn't it? The internet allows a lot of people to be the voyeur, so there's no attachment as such. They can stay detached with it all. We're getting a wee bit deep there as well. But yeah, so think about your groups. Could you start a Facebook group, or do you prefer to be part of a group? Okay. That's probably the fastest and quickest, the cheapest way to get started with like-minded people or people that you want to target. but think about what it is you're selling. You know, we talked last night about, are you selling physical products, electronic products, or providing a service or some sort of consultancy or mentoring training, or and maybe an aspect of both. Maybe you've got a physical product that does need training and you need to be there. You know, for example, like fitness trainers, they're given like a fitness program, but sometimes they sell equipment, or maybe they've got a certain product. Do you remember back in the day, all those infomercials that came up, and it was that ab machine thing? You know, you rocked back and forth with it, and it was supposed to give you fantastic abs. So there would be a certain training aspect to that, because you could do different types of, not many, but there was a certain amount of training, things like that with it. Something like that, where maybe people do need an education with it. And there's a lot of people just taking like even the mobile phone. If you've got a Samsung phone, Samsungs are renowned for having the camera aspect. So a lot of people are showing you how to take better pictures with your iPhone, with your Samsung phone, and then how you can use those pictures and sell them on to stock photography companies. Like Getty Images would be the biggest one, I think. So they could pay, pay you a lot of money for you taking simple pictures. But it's interesting. I've noticed on TikTok again, there's a lot of creative photographers on there, and it's amazing how they're going up to strangers and showing them their portfolio and saying, could I take some creative pictures with you? And some of them are with their parents and things like that, and he gets their permission and goes, and some of the pictures and how he even creates those pictures. And you've got ones where there's a swirl of water and you can see their face in the middle of it all. It's very simply done. You can hold the camera upside down and things like this. So, but it depends on your passion. I talked the first night on the 4 questions, what your passion was, what you were good at, what you enjoy doing. That's going to bring that to the surface. And then it's just a matter of everything flowing from there. Knowing your keywords and what people are looking for, keeping on top of that. And then your information and your content all flows from that. And then obviously getting the message out there. That's what we talked about last night. Getting the message out there to bring the people on board and then bring them all to a central place. But you're using YouTube, you've got your central, there you go. You love photography, so maybe you could be a garden photographer or something, you don't know, Esther. The internet that's what I love about it. It's so creative. Everybody's bringing something different. There's no 2 people really doing the same thing. It may appear the same on the surface, but unless you get involved with it, or purchase it or whatever, everybody's doing something different, believe it or not, because everybody's unique. We've all got unique fingerprints, and whatever we're going to do in life, we've all had different experiences as well. There's a guy on Quora, is it Quora? It's all about people asking questions, and then people just jump on and actually answer the questions. And there's a guy who's traveled quite a bit and shares his stories. Some of his stories have a bit of adult content to it, because he's talking about women that he dated and things like that. But he's such an engaging writer, and every time I see him come up, I'm quick to try and I'm quick to click on it and read his latest story that he's written, and he gets so many responses, in terms of people really appreciating his writing. And if a guy wrote a book, that's how a lot of people become authors. They set up a blog, people enjoy it, and then they're like, if you get the first book out, and the second and third book's easier. Art class, yes. Is that you teaching, or is that you taking? I think you've got too many options, Esther. I think it's your problem. It's bringing it all down to 1 or 2 things, or taking your 2 favorite things and maybe bringing them together in some way. Because I love all the spiritual, holistic, sort of energetic side of life and the mindset, but I love all and that's all sort of more feminine aspect. And it's important, because it applies to everybody. We're all born with most of us are born with a brain, but we're all born at the same level. And in the first few years of our life, then obviously makes a difference. Oh, there's Stephen. Hiya, Tompo. Hope you're keeping well. You got the hand up. You're just in time, Stephen, to be too late. We're just finishing up. We're just talking about internet business and making money from home. If you're interested, Stephen's one of my colleagues back in the day, remember? The boss asked him, I told him, I said, oh, it's great working here, apply for a job. The boss asked Stephen, why are you applying? It's like, because it seems like good crack, but he got the job. His honesty got him the job. So yeah, no, good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope your Julie's well, and the kids. So yes, if you were good at art at school, Esther, then that would definitely lend itself to the home decoration. I can see why that would appeal to you. So it's how you can help people online with that. And again, as I said to you, what's the word I'm looking for? The visual aspect of it, where people can take a photograph and you can do before and after. We've got Juan Carlos on. Hello, hello. KBN, habla inglés. Habla español, señor. Poco español. This is one of my Spanish teachers. Well, my main one, I should say, isn't it? You're good at speaking English. Thank you. I can just about manage English, never mind learning Spanish. So if anybody needs Spanish lessons, Juan Carlos is the man to talk to. We actually started a wee group. I started off as 2 people. This is an example of groups and reaching out to people. We started a group just him and me initially, and then it's grown now to 6. And over the lockdown, other people have sparked a bit of interest as well, because people are trying to learn things at home. So I'd said to them, I've seen their posts online. I said, oh, we've got a group on a Sunday morning. Come and join us. So Esther said, I'm very creative. You say, but you are. I know you are. And you've got the spiritual aspect as well. I hope you're well, Juan. nice to say hello. Nice to pop in. I don't know. I mean, if you want to have a good chat about it, we can arrange that. So there's not an issue. That's what I'm here for. The same with Claire there. Claire, I think Claire's got the grasp of things. It's just not knowing which order. It's like you've got all the musical notes. You just need to know which order to play them in. If you know that joke with the. Was it Morecambe and Wise? He says, you're playing all the wrong notes. And he says, I'm not. I'm playing all the right notes. I'm just not playing them in the right order. So, yeah. Anyway, makes the point. So there we go. So tomorrow night then, same time, 8 o'clock UK time. Any more questions, you want to fire them in beforehand. Even some people have done that. So I've made sure then to put that in. Believe it or not, I've sneaked those questions in. If there's anything that you think of, you want to run it past me, if you just need a sounding board for it, that's fine. It's amazing, like within sort of 10, 15 minutes, you can look up keywords, you can do whatever and find out. I can give people a very quick answer, yes or no, if something's going to work or not. So, but that's the beauty of it, because everything on the internet, nothing on the internet's secret, even if something's private link or unlisted as such, it's still on a server somewhere and it can still be accessed, So, she's saying, come take a cuppa. Is that hang on a minute, you're testing my Spanish here. We're finished up anyway. Now we're in tomar is to take, isn't it? Drink a cup. Drink a copa. Take a drink, yeah. Come on and take a drink. Well, some of the bars are open here now. They have to serve outside, but they are open. So, well, thank you guys for tuning in and asking your questions. And hopefully that's been really helpful for you, beneficial. It's been bueno for Carlos. Una. Yes, I thought it was Una as well, Una Copa, because Copa is feminine. See, Juan's been teaching me. But I've been helping him with English. He's trained now as an accountant. So he needs to know some more business English. But look, I will love you and leave you. Thank you guys for logging in. Daily practice, yes. That's what it's all about, Claire. 15 minutes Duolingo is fantastic. First 3 months of learning Duolingo, and I went into the supermarket and it was like somebody had lifted, I don't know, like somebody had lifted something off my eyes, and suddenly all these words like manzanas and whatever, I was like, oh my God, I know what these mean. So, but 15 minutes a day at anything, whether it's learning an instrument, learning a language, learning internet business. Yeah, well, here, where do we all get on Zoom afterwards? I've got somebody to have to go and have a birthday drink online here. But we could do that tomorrow night. If we get through tomorrow night, okay, we could have a Friday night party. I will put that out there to you. You can chill your bottle of wine and we'll have a wee drink afterwards, just to congratulate you getting through 5 days of having to listen to me. And Esther. Oh, good grief. No, I could talk to Esther all day. So yes, I'm definitely going to go this time. I will leave you to it. Have a lovely buenas noches, Juan. And night to Esther. Thank you very much, Claire. And I'll see you tomorrow night then. All right then. Take it easy. Stay safe.